Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 3-star powers that are pretty good and 3-star powers that are really bad, probably a little bit too overrated. As you guys know now, that you can't really buy them in a shop, you can just straight up buy them. So if you've got any spare coins available, I definitely recommend getting some of these star powers. So before we jump into it, make sure you're using the creator code. That'd be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, let's jump in straight into one of the most underrated star powers in the game, and I would say actually one of the better ones for me anyways. Personally, it has to be Brock. So Brock, for me, I feel like his rocket number 4 sometimes takes a little bit too long to reload, even with the reload speed buff recently. And I just love this star power. The star power is so good, specifically to guarantee kills. It gives you, I think, 44% more rockets upon your super. And a lot of times, all you need to do is literally clip someone with his super, and you'll just delete them. I just love it already. Like Brock's super, it's always been decent, right? But I feel like it's kind of lost its touch since all these gears have came into play. But now, for the majority of the part, you will get near enough a guaranteed kill every single time with his super. I mean, I probably won't be able to show it within this game, because whenever I wanted to talk about how good something is, I never get to show it. But again, I've got another super. You can cycle it so quick within this meta. I do miss the super a little bit there, but if I actually pointed it a little bit more to the left, I probably could have killed the Amber as well as the Griff. It's just so many rockets, right? That's literally the name of the star power, more rockets. And I'm just completely in love with it. I really do enjoy playing it. At first, I felt like this star power was probably a little bit too, I don't know what the word is. Like, I felt like it wasn't really needed on his super, but as time has gone on, I've really learned to love it a lot more. The only thing is that, of course, you only get value out of it when you use your super, right? A lot of star powers you can get value out of 24/7, and this is one of the ones which, of course, you're going to get value out of a super with. So I'm going to get super again. The Amber should be able to get her down, or at least get her a little bit weak. I'm going to use my gadget to get down this too as well. But a good thing about Brock as well, although I'm telling you guys to pick up the star power, like, it does have 2 decent gadgets and 2 good star powers overall. So he definitely is a brawler within this meta anyways that you're looking to max out. As time has gone on, even more so, Brock is getting even better in the meta. Specifically, when you keep your distance at max range, you're going to be able to gain ammo back so quickly with him. And he's one of his brawlers which is definitely taking the meta by storm at the moment. So that's why I'm recommending getting one of his better star powers. So again, I'm going to use super to break open walls against the Amber. I think I've got like 1 kill with my super so far, but again, it lets me cycle my super a lot easier. And if you have trouble with Brock's supers, you won't have any trouble any longer. So I'm going to pass this over to Rollo. He's going to be able to score that one in, and for me, that is going to be one of the most underrated star power by far in the game right now. So that's going to be the first one right there. Let's see if we can hang on for another 5 seconds. Hopefully we can finish this one off. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, jumping into the second most underrated star power within the game right now. I think it's Gus's second star power, Spirit Animal. So this star power, at first, I didn't really think it would be like the complete strongest, but I think this star power has the potential to be really crazy strong right now, specifically because Gus is definitely making his mark on the meta even more so now than ever. But the star power is really strong, specifically on Gus himself. So the main reason I say that is because normally Gus only deals like 1,400 damage only. That is still pretty decent for a brawler that of course mainly thrives in supporting his teammates. But when you have this star power active, so for the first 5 seconds when you use the shield and you have the damage gear active as well, you can deal up to 2k damage with 1 shot. So you think about that, 3 shots onto the opponent, 6k damage for a brawler like Gus. I think that's insane. And if you pair this with other brawlers as well that have a high damage output, that are really aggressive, I can make great use of those 5 seconds with the additional 25% damage. It just makes for such a strong star power. I think it just makes for such good synergy with the shield. So yeah, a lot of times, of course, you want to time it well. So when they're about to go in and get some damage, you want to give them the shield to give them an extra bit of percentage of damage, right? But not always you can get that value. That's why as well, you can always wait to just pop it on yourself. Specifically, if you're playing with randoms, you know, it's kind of risky trying to throw your shield, which holds so much value to a random, because you never know what they're going to do. A lot of times they end up just purposely running away from it, I feel like. So it can sometimes be a little bit safer just putting it on Gus himself and just becoming a bit of a stronger brawler, right? Because definitely the worst thing about Gus and how he gets countered a lot more specifically on Brawl is the constant aggression. Like, I feel like he doesn't have the DPS to compete with all the other kind of mid brawlers, you know, like B, for example. Like, she just absolutely melts tanks, whereas Gus kind of gets run over by him. But if you're constantly using the shield on Gus himself, you're going to be able to, of course, compete a little bit better. So So we've got the damage gear active. So now I want to go aggro. I've just popped the shield with the damage gear active, and that was 2k you just saw on that crow. I can literally two-shot him if I'm accurate enough and if I do the timing correctly. So again, you don't always get value out of his star power, right? Like the thing is with these ones, the first two I've pointed out, it's to do with his supers, but because already I feel like the supers are that pretty strong, it just makes them even better. So this should be a goal right here. Let's see if it can break the Stu's and the Crow's ankles. We're going to put it through the middle, and that's going to be the second star power. I recommend picking up. It's really underrated. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into the third underrated star power, which I feel like you guys should be testing out a lot. It has to be with Ash. So the Mad as Heck star power has always been pretty decent, but I feel like now more so than ever since the introduction of his super gear, I feel like this could give room for this star power to work even better. It synergizes really well. So the main reason being is because with his rats, you're able to cycle his rage a lot easier. You only need 4 hits with Ash to get your super now instead of 5, which can be a big difference, specifically if you know how to cycle your super really well with Ash and keep the rage up. The rats are literally the main reason why he's able to cycle his rage so quickly. Also as well, I was definitely inspired a lot by the cast I did the other day on Brawl League, where Ash just seems to be running through everyone. Maybe it's because of his supercharging gear, not 100% sure, but the more I test out Ash, I just feel like he's so incredibly strong. Unfortunately, Mortis is just wrecking us right here, cycling super left, right, and center, so we can't show Ash to the full potential with his star power, but trust me, it's definitely going to be really strong. I feel like as the weeks go on, Ash is slowly going to start to become a little bit more meta just because of how strong his super gear is. So I'm still a little bit unsure on what other gear to try him out. Like normally on grassy maps I like speed, but there's just so much variation with Ash's builds. I feel like in the current meta, like you can go like the health gear, the damage gear, the speed gear. There's so many different things you can go. I've always kind of liked the health gear on Ash, though. I don't know about you guys, or the damage gear. It's just so difficult. You can go 4 gears with Ash, which it's a good choice. I'd rather have difficulties trying to decide which gears to go rather than just going the same old gears every single time. So we're going to pop a gadget there, only heal 1.5k, and I'm just playing a terrible Ash. I'm not the greatest Ash, by the way, guys, but I'm sure you guys have probably already discovered that this super gear actually is pretty strong with Ash himself. So we're going to be able to get the Rico down right here. Against this Stu, the rats should be able to do a decent job at getting our rage up. He's going to try the trick shot. He's going to try it, but completely fails. So the rats, again, are going to help me to cycle my rage a lot more. I've got rats going to let myself heal up a little bit. Going to throw it on top of the Mortis. It's going to literally explode straight onto the Stu as well, and we're just going to cycle like crazy. We're going to pop our gadget and just heal us up a little bit better. But I mean, I tried to show off as much as possible how good his star power is. I don't think I really did it justice, but I feel like you guys definitely need to try it out. So that's going to be some of the more underrated star powers. So let's hop into more the overrated now. Alright guys, so jumping into the first overrated star power, which one I wouldn't really recommend. The one that I would recommend getting the most is probably the Scorch. I don't even know what star power it's called, but it's something to do with Scorching. So basically, it's going to allow you to charge up your ammo much quicker, which will feel really nice with the addition of her reload gear. But the way you play Amber specifically in the competitive meta, I just feel like it doesn't really suit her. A lot of times with Amber, you're going to be sitting in and around your super or the puddle you make through your gadget and charge your super again and cycle it fast. That's the way you're going to be able to get kills with Amber, right? Because a lot of the times it's pretty hard to get kills up straight with Amber. A lot of the times your super will allow you to push up and get kills, whilst this star power only really helps maybe on the completely open maps. I would probably only recommend trying it out on those maps, but overall I feel like the reload gear has given her a big enough buff, so I just don't really see the need for it. I've saw a few people ask my opinions on this star power. I've never really liked it. I feel like the other star power with Amber, I don't even know what they're called, to be honest, because I just don't play Amber much. I feel like the other star power is definitely the one that suits her a lot, and I literally never see this reload star power being used on her in competitive like whatsoever. So I'm gonna pop the super right here. It does actually increase it quite a fair bit, which again, it's not like, I'm not saying it's completely the worst, but it's like the other star power just completely synergizes with her. It synergizes with her gadget as well, and I just can't see a reason why you really need to stop her, because she already reloads pretty quick right in this meta. So popping off a lot with her. She's a brawler which I see climbing towards like the top 20, top 15 of the meta. She already was, and the real gear is pretty much, I won't really say breaking Brawl Stars, but it's pretty frustrating to face off against, right? When you see a brawler glowing, you just know that they're going to be spamming shots 24/7, and it's going to be really hard for you to really deal with them. So got 40 seconds left. These games seem to be dragging on a little bit, so feel free if you guys really want to skip through to see to the next overrated star power. There's probably quite a few as well. One thing, you know, it does annoy me a little bit is that star powers don't really get balanced as much as they used to, right? Like whenever I look at the worst and best star powers, they pretty much stay the same. So I try to be a little bit more unique with the concept here. Like more underrated, overrated is probably the way to go with these type of videos, just because like I feel like the best and worst never really change, except for when like a new brawler gets introduced. So that's going to be one brawler that is really one star power that's going to be really overrated. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into probably the second most overrated star power in the game right now, I think it's insta-beload. So the meta right now with B has been for a few months now, but the meta is always the other star power which this B is using, Honeycomb. Honeycomb is going to be the better star power overall for B. Insta-beload, like it sounds good, it used to be really strong, but with how the game's kind of developing, I don't really see a need for this star power. The main reason being is because a lot of times you're just going to hit that 3k shot anyway if you're good enough, but also the shield allows you to push up and be more aggressive. You actually hit more 3k shots with the shield star power, as I said, because you will be able to tank a lot more. And B is a brawler, but it's pretty squishy, so you do need that extra little bit of HP. So yeah, that's going to be the second most overrated one. A little bit of a quick one, but that is the main reason being because I feel like with B as well, she's got such a quick unload and reload speed. You're just constantly spamming out shots anyway. So I feel like the star power doesn't really make too much difference with her. So that's going to be the second most overrated. Let's hop into the final one. Alright guys, so jumping into the third most overrated star power in the game right now. Talking about the Lu meta, I think it's super cool. So super cool, I used to think it did something, but it don't really do too much, because the only reason it's actually okay, it actually makes people freeze 33% quicker when they're in your super. But a lot of times, as you guys probably know with how good Lu is in the meta right now, I feel like you don't really sit in the super for long, right? Brawlers rarely sit in the super for long. If they do, they're already going to get killed pretty fast. So I'd rather have a star power that you're able to get value of outside of a super with Lu, as I said, because you're able just to cycle so quickly anyways with the gadget, being able to freeze them 50%. And if you just hit your shots really quickly with him, you're going to be able to freeze him quick anyway. So super cool. I feel like it's just not really needed with him anymore. Hypothermia, I won't really say is the most overpowered star power either. Sometimes it can be difficult to know completely get value with it, but I think as time is moving on, people are starting to move over to the hypothermia star power just because they see like not too many benefits with super cool. So yeah, it'll be nice to hear your guys' suggestions on that one, because of course super cool has always been like the go-to star power for the most part, but now I think I finally saw the light and I'm trying hypothermia a lot more and I'm liking it a lot more. So for me, test out hypothermia. You might be a little bit unsure at first, but I think you'll see better results overall. So now we're kind of wasted our super here trying to score the goal, and then the buzz just embarrasses both of us. Yeah, we should have probably not been as aggressive, but with Lu, we're going to have 24/7 supers specifically against any tanky brawlers. Like Poco is going to feed his supers like crazy. Buzz, it's just going to be so easy for us to get into a good position. So Rolo's going to hopefully get the kill there. I'm like one shot off my super. Hopefully Poco can feed it me. I'm just going to throw it onto the Poco and just destroy him. See there, I don't get any value out of super cool because I just kill him pretty quickly. Lu actually has a lot of damage as well, so if you hit your shots consistently, you're just going to melt someone. So in a good position here, Poco is going to get frozen again. I'm just going to throw the super on Buzz just so he can't go that way. That's a really nice cancellation from Rolo right there. And with 18 seconds left, let's just keep the ball in a decent position so when overtime pops, we can be in a good opportunity to score here. So Tara does get a good pull onto Rolo there, unfortunately, and now it's looking like we might lose. I'm going to pop a super onto Lu right here, and it might help us out here because Poco is pushing up a lot. I mean, if I can hit my shots enough, maybe we can survive this one. He's going to be able to charge that one in. Unfortunately, we're going to lose that one, but I feel like I've shown some good examples as to why I feel like super cool's not really needed. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what videos you want to see in the future. By the way, I did say I was going to do a tier list literally tomorrow, but I just feel like with the introduction of Buster, I feel like there's not really too much point, and I may as well just wait a few days extra and wait for a solid tier list. So that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.